Nobody expected a 5-year-old murder case to explode back into the spotlight. But when a new witness came forward claiming that Maris Conway helped move part of the money behind the hit on MO3, the entire narrative shifted. Suddenly, what looked like another tragic moment in rap history became the center of one of Dallas's biggest controversies, dragging old rivalries, street politics, and hidden motives back into the open. And once prosecutors revealed surveillance footage, phone records, and financial trails, the story took an even darker turn. To understand how everything spiraled into a freeway execution, you've got to go back to the moment the city stopped moving. November 11th, 2020. Just another Wednesday on E35. Blue skies, heavy midday traffic, truckers grinding through their shifts. MO3 was driving northbound when a dark-colored car crept up beside him. In an instant, gunfire erupted. Bullets tore into his vehicle, forcing him to swerve wildly as cars screeched, horns blared, and drivers ducked for cover. Realizing he was trapped, MO3 jumped out and ran. Sprinting between lanes as strangers watched the chaos unfold right in front of them. Behind him, a masked figure stepped out, calm and focused, chasing him across the freeway with zero concern for the dozens of witnesses. Moments later, the fatal shots hit, and MO3 collapsed on the concrete. First responders arrived quickly, but it was too late. That footage, captured on dash cams and highway cameras, didn't just shock Dallas, it shocked the entire country. But what most people didn't know at the time was that this wasn't random, it wasn't spontaneous. It was the end of a long fuse that had been burning quietly for years. On one side of the tension was Yellow Beezy, real name Mary DeAndre Conway, Oak Cliff native, raised in one of Dallas's hardest neighborhoods. His life changed forever at age 12, when his father was taken from him on Mother's Day. That trauma pushed him deeper into music, turning rap into his only safe outlet. By the time he hit his early 20s, songs like That's On Me and Trap and Designer turned him into one of the hottest names in Texas. Big features followed. Major labels came calling. But the streets didn't forget him, and the drama didn't stop just because he made it out. Across the city, MO3 was rising just as fast. Born Melvin Noble Jr., raised in a religious household, he took the pain and pressure of North Dallas and turned it into raw, emotional music people felt instantly. His vocals hit differently, half melody, half confession. Songs like Everybody turned him into a star without mainstream backing. Boozy Badass recognized the talent immediately and pulled him into a mentorship that pushed MO3 beyond the Dallas scene. 2 artists, 2 neighborhoods, 2 fan bases, and tension that was originally small enough to ignore. But the real trouble didn't even start between them. It started with comedian Roy Lee, a local personality known for roasting rappers online. When Roy Lee began clowning Yellow's street credibility, questioning whether he was really from Oak Cliff, the jokes hit a sensitive nerve. Things escalated fast. Roy Lee and members of Yellow's circle allegedly clashed at a club. Roy didn't back down, he went even harder online. Then came the moment nobody expected. Roy Lee was shot in the leg. The injury didn't seem fatal at first, but complications from blood clots took his life soon after. No charges, no direct evidence, but the street started whispering. And when those whispers tied the situation to Yellow's side, MO3, who was close to Roy, got pulled straight into the conflict. From that moment, every incident carried more weight. When Yellow survived a major ambush on the Dallas Tollway in 2018, the rumors flipped in the opposite direction. People started saying MO3's side was behind it. Both rappers publicly denied everything, but the tension was visible. A look here, a comment there, a post with too much attitude. It was clear the air between them wasn't friendly anymore. Then in early 2020, things got physical at a Dallas club when Yellow allegedly confronted MO3's manager, Brandon Rainwater. Witnesses said it turned into a one-sided fight, and Rainwater later filed a lawsuit. Online, both artists kept insisting there was no real beef, but fans weren't buying it. The energy was too obvious, the timing too suspicious. Everyone felt something coming, and then it did. After MO3 was hit on the freeway, Dallas PD immediately hunted for answers. Images of the suspected shooter circulated online. Investigators identified Kanan Dantrell White as the man behind the weapon. But that was only one piece of the puzzle. The bigger question was, who planned it? That's where the investigation slowed to a crawl. Witnesses stayed silent. Motives were hard to prove. And digital evidence was thin. But over time, detectives uncovered fragments. Ballistics from the scene, phone records, tower pings showing communication between Yella and White, and eventually whispers from informants about money being placed on someone's head. But the turning point came when prosecutors revealed something new. A large cash withdrawal made by Yella days after MO3 was killed. Around $40,000 pulled from the bank in one shot. Surveillance footage allegedly captured it. The state argued the money was a payout. The defense called it coincidence. But the timing was impossible to ignore. For years, nothing major happened publicly. Then 2025 hit and everything moved at once. A Dallas County grand jury indicted Yella Beasy on capital murder-for-hire charges, claiming he financed the hit. Devin Brown was charged for allegedly helping coordinate the plan. Prosecutors asked for a $2 million bond, arguing that Yella was a flight risk with access to resources. The defense pushed back, bringing up his kids, his ties to Dallas, and the fact that none of his prior cases involved violence. The judge eventually lowered it to $750,000. Yella walked out on strict house arrest with 24/7 GPS monitoring, banned from contacting witnesses or co-defendants. In November 2025, he was granted a small allowance, 5 hours a week to record music, after his attorneys argued that stopping him from working would cause major financial harm, and the judge reluctantly agreed. But the most explosive piece of the case leaked during a bond hearing. A witness is prepared to testify that Maris Conway helped move part of the cash that eventually reached White, the accused shooter. If that testimony holds up in court, it becomes one of the most critical links between motive, money, and execution. Now, everything is building toward February 2026, when Yella's trial is set to begin. If the state proves the murder-for-hire angle, the consequences could be severe. If the defense tears down the witness credibility and challenges the evidence, everything could flip. The rivalry that sparked all of this wasn't supposed to end like this. Two talented artists came out of the same city, raised by the same struggles, pushed by the same hunger to succeed. One is gone. One is fighting for his freedom. And Dallas is still living with the aftermath of a feud that spiraled far beyond music. Whatever comes out in court next, this case isn't just about beef. It's about pride, loyalty, and how quickly a single decision can change everything. And with more witnesses expected to testify, the story is far from over. If you want to follow every twist as this case heads toward trial, make sure you don't miss what comes next, because the biggest revelations haven't even hit yet.